Hey guys, it's Ann with SeeAnnSELL.com, back for another week of SeeAnnSELL. All of my reselling activities into one video. So Amazon, FBA, eBay, and I am starting out with a sale from eBay. This is a, an Eddie Bauer XXL men's fleece vest that I picked up at Goodwill on sale for less than $2. I had it up for $19.99 and I accepted a best offer of $17, and the buyer paid shipping on top of that. So super slow, but I've been listing at nights, trying to get at least like 5 things listed because I'm getting through the close. So I'm doing everything I can. And I did just order a new computer for down here. This is my old one and it does not work well at all. I have my upstairs office, but I want to have a computer down here. There's my old printer with a belt from a trench coat draped off of it. Need to find the home for that. So that I can come down here and I can print my labels down here. What I've been doing is I make a sale. I come down here, I find the item, I get a container I think it's going to go in. Then I get upstairs, I go through the whole process of doing the label, and then I find that maybe I can save money shipping it a different way, or like it's global shipping and it needs to go in a plain box and I grabbed a priority, whatnot, and then I got to come down here and get it. So now if I can just print my labels down here, get everything I need to done, and then my dad still likes to ship upstairs, but I'm going to try to be doing some of the shipping down here on this table. It's right now holding things that need to get listed, but that is the plan. At least for now, if I can print labels down here, that will save me from running up and down the stairs all the time. So I got a great deal. The Black Friday sales on Staples are already live online, and they're sold out of the computer in the store that's near me, because I could do like 1 hour store pickup, but they're sold out. But online they're still available. So I got a $269 Dell laptop, and that will be just fine for printing labels down here and doing maybe a little bit of other work, but mainly just the labels. So that should come on Friday. So just a quick update here. I've got some clothes upstairs I'm listing. Then there's this rack that needs to be listed. All of these clothes are listed. I showed you these last week because now I have 4 racks. All of this stuff is listed. I've got best offer on everything. I brought my doll houses down here because we're running out of room upstairs. And then these are the things I've decided I'm going to keep. So I'm making a hoarding shelf. This is stuff that's not listed, but I'm saving up for lots, or I'll do it this winter. Just miscellaneous stuff. And then this is the stuff I got over the weekend at the estate sales, needs to be listed. Papa, he's like, I got all these little Christmas figures, you know, at the fill bag sale. And I said, well, where are the Christmas figures? Oh, those little people, they're downstairs because they're not Christmas. I'm like, Dad, these are all Christmas Village figures. Okay, anyway, so I have some Christmas houses, and then those figures that I want to get online this week. Needs to get Christmas stuff going. There's some more CDs for FBA. I have a few upstairs. I'm not even going to worry about that stuff because FBA is so slow as well. Then I have this giant snowmobile to list. But otherwise, I feel pretty good. You know, like you look at this pile, but this, like I said, a lot of this are things I'm saving up for lots. Especially this kind of stuff here. I know it's a mess, but I'm not really worried about it. I feel pretty good. My main thing, like I said, is get the clothes online, because then clothes sell best, so I might as well list them and get them on there and then worry about this kind of stuff later. It is now Wednesday, and I've accepted some best offers and gotten payment. This little Vera Bradley purse that I picked up at the consignment store for, I think it was like $1 or something, so it was on clearance. I took a best offer of $15. These scrapbooking pages, 2 packs, I got at a $5 fill-a-bag sale, and I took a best offer of $15. This sad little Yankees pendant, which is so worn and dirty, I accepted a best offer of $15.99. Then they never paid, so I filed an unpaid bidder claim. Then they sent me 2 messages swearing they were going to pay on Friday, and then they paid today. So there you go on that. And I just accepted a best offer on this hat for $20. I'm waiting for them to pay. buyer's paid shipping on top of those prices, and these 3 are going to go via first class. And I had hoped to get in here last night and list. I came in, I had the energy, I was like, oh awesome, I can get stuff listed. And then my internet was down. Thank you, Mediacom. I swear, I pay $190 a month for phone, cable, and internet. And every freaking single day, the internet goes down at some point. It's just like, it's just, you know, ugh, God, cable companies, they're just the worst. And that's all we have around here other than Quest, and they're even worse than Mediacom. So it's like, what do? You have worst or even worse. Anyway, so it is the day before Thanksgiving. I'm busy on my blog today, but maybe, just maybe, I can find time to get some stuff listed. This stuff, yeah. I'm sorry, all that is listed. I just haven't taken it down. I was trying to list this sweater last night when the internet went down, and I still have this pile of stuff to list that I already have photos of. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there to this pile of clothing. Yeah, so anyway, making progress. Okay, so I ordered my new computer yesterday, and it came today. So awesome. Here it is. It's the same size, a little bit bigger than the, no, a smidge bigger maybe? I don't know. Anyway, another Dell. And so it's replacing this one down here in my eBay area. So I'm so excited to get this set up so I can print my labels down here. Finally, have this printer down here for labels and scale. Basically everything I have upstairs, I have copied downstairs now. So when I get an eBay order, I'll get notified upstairs. I'll come down here, come print the label, pull the item, get it ready to ship, and maybe even ship it or package it myself over here. Ah, yay. So I'll need to charge this up, and then, like I said, I'm just going to use it for labels and stuff. So it'll be an easy setup. I don't have to get, you know, everything transferred and whatnot. So awesome. So it is Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Normally, Thanksgiving Day is super busy for me for eBay orders, like a lot. Right now, 5 o'clock at night, I've had 1. So really disappointing. But it was this Fitz and Floyd ornament, and from 1999, it sold for $19.99. Buyer paid shipping on top of that. It's going to go first class, and I paid $1 or less for it. So I'm just so disappointed because I was expecting today to just have a ton of sales, and it's just not happening. So what can you do? There's so many deals and stuff online. I've been in between the actual Thanksgiving stuff. I've been posting the deals on Facebook and Twitter instead of right to my blog because it's so time consuming to do a blog post. I can do it on Facebook and Twitter faster. So yeah, I think that'll work for that. So yeah, this is the first time I can print a label from my new setup. Took me forever to get the stupid printer hooked up last night. I don't know what the problem was. Normally you just plug it in and it does it, but it wasn't working on this side. So I switched it to there and it did it. So I don't know, yeah, whatever. I was like, seriously, all this time and effort to get the computer and now I can't print? You've got to be kidding. But finally got it going, so maybe this will be the spark of more. Still got some hours left in the day. It is now Friday. Only 1 sale Thanksgiving Day. That is a low, I wouldn't even say record. That's just never happened before. But I did have a sale just now. I took a best offer on this coat. The Walls. I thought it was Wallow. It doesn't look like Wallow, but it's Walls. Vintage jacket that I got, puffer jacket. I got it at Goodwill. It was less than $3. I had it up for $29.99 and I accepted a best offer of $20. Buyer paid shipping on top of that. So big kind of puffy coats like this that are impossible to get squished down into a flat rate box go into a large poly envelope thingy. And I can sit right down here and print my label out. I did one yesterday and it was just glorious to just do it all down here. So it is now Friday night, and I finally just decided this afternoon to take best offer off of my listings and put everything 40% off. Other than a handful of things that were only like $9.99, but everything else right now is 40% off because I'm just desperate to get something going. This is absolutely crazy. Normally Thanksgiving weekend I am swamped, and this is now my third sale in the past 2 days. It's crazy. But this Tommy Bahama shirt just sold. It's a medium. I think I got this at the consignment store. I can't remember. Anyway, it sold for $14.99. The buyer paid shipping on top of that. It's going to go via first class in one of these eBay poly mailers that I got for free with my coupon code for the store subscription. So, yeah, I haven't listed anything new. We've been busy with Thanksgiving stuff, and I've been posting deals for my blog and putting up Christmas stuff. And to be honest, when nothing's selling, it's like, why bother putting my effort into eBay when I can do other things? So I don't know. Hopefully 40% off will spark some sales and get some stuff moving. I have it set till the end of November, so a week left. I don't know. So strange, because like I said, normally I'm swamped Thanksgiving weekend with orders, and it's just not happening this year. And I have more stuff than ever listed than I've probably ever listed before. Well, almost around my peak, which is a little less than 500. I don't like to go over that. If I go over that, I feel like I'm just hoarding rather than selling. I want to stop. That's just me. If you want to list more, that's fine. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying that's me. I just like to keep around that 500 mark. But yeah, anyway, so hopefully I will have more sales to show you. There are obviously no estate sales this weekend with the holiday weekend. So I have nothing to do but sell stuff. Anyway, okay, I'll check in later. It's now Saturday morning, and I had 2 sales overnight, both 40% off. This men's polo sweatshirt, I got this, I think at Goodwill. I can't remember. I only get clothes at Goodwill and consignment store, so one or the other. And it would have paid less than $2 for it. It sold 40% off for $23.99. And then this Cowboys pullover, I'm not sure how Goodwill, I remember I got it at Goodwill not too long ago. I'm not sure if they rang it up as hanging shirt or jacket, but it would have been $2 to $3 regardless on sale. And it sold 40% off for $17.99. Buyers paid shipping on top of those prices. They both actually weigh over a pound. So they're each going to go in a flat rate bubble mailer. And as I often do with clothing when it's going to go into a bubble mailer, is I first put it in a plain poly bag, because so often the fabric sticks to the bubbles inside, making it hard to get it in there. But if I put it in a little poly bag first, it'll slide right in. And I got a bunch of these the last time. I have the eBay store subscription coupons. So I was able to use my credits to get a bunch of these bags for free. Just makes putting stuff in the bags so much easier. Otherwise, I can't tell you how many times my dad's like, can you come here? We've had to like try to shove clothing in the bags. It's, I don't know, makes life easier, and I'm all for anything that makes life easier. See? Super easy. Plus it gives the items an added layer of protection. Although I've had people ask, or at least one person ask, you know, do I worry about the bags leaking? These poly bags, they're always lined. You know, they have the bubble, but then they have like a lining in them. Same for the paper ones. Someone wanted to know if I was worried that these would leak through if they got wet, but they're lined. Although we do wrap things. I have a bunch of packing paper my dad will wrap things in, and, you know, like I just said, for the clothing, put them in a bag. So things get pretty well protected. And I always say, if something leaks through this type of stuff after we've done all this prep, then it must have been in a flood. It must have just gotten dropped in the flood waters and run over by Noah's Ark or something for it to get damaged in this. So don't worry about that. This Eddie Bauer men's shirt just sold. It's a tall, a large. It's flannel. It got put in my 40% off sale, even though I just listed it. It was actually still up here in my office. in the pile of clothes I hadn't taken down yet. So it sold for $14.99. I picked it up for less than $2 at Goodwill. Buyer paid shipping. On top of that, it is heavy. So it is going to go in a flat rate bubble mailer. It is Sunday morning and I woke up to 3 sales. Yay! First is this Columbia men's jacket that I got at Goodwill for under $3. It sold 40% off for $23.99. Buyer's paying shipping on top of that. I think that's going to go into a flat rate bubble mailer. This Columbia nylon pullover I got at Goodwill for under $3. It was on sale, so it only sold for $14.99, but that's okay. Get it out of here. Buyer paid shipping on top of that. And then this lot of CDs. I can't remember if I got these in that jumbo lot of 500 or so that I got, or another time. I would have paid less than 50 cents each for them, and there's 7 there. And they sold all together for $20.99, and of course buyer paid shipping on top of that. So thank goodness 40% off seems to be working better than best offer. I never like best offer anyway, but I'll try it periodically, but I'm always annoyed with it, going back and forth with people, whereas you just slash the price cheap enough, that seems to work. So let's hope that that continues on through the week and through the rest of the year. Getting to the end of 2016. Better start getting my tax stuff together. Ugh. It is now Sunday afternoon and just sold this women's J. Crew corduroy trench coat that I got at Goodwill. It was less than $3. It's a petite medium. And it's a current style. It's not a vintage style. But it's still sold on sale for $29.99. The buyer paid shipping on top of that. So I don't think I can get this in a flat rate bubble mailer. It's going to have to go in another envelope of some kind. And I also just sold this 90s county seat. Do you guys remember county seat? I can remember it from the 90s. Kind of looks like denim. It's a super soft denim though. And I got it at Goodwill for less than $2. And I didn't mean to put the new stuff I got on sale. I mean, the coat I just got new, this new that I just listed, but it got put on sale anyway. Whatever, at least it's selling, and it sold for $17.99. Buyer paid shipping on top of that, and it is heavy, so it is going to go in a flat rate bubble mailer. And these sales and the sales I've had this weekend just make me think that I should just sell clothes. I mean, what's selling? Clothes. What's not selling? This stuff. Stuff is still piled up. It is sitting here, and it just doesn't seem to go anywhere. I think my clothing sales would be 9 out of every 10 sales I have on eBay is clothing. So why don't I just sell clothing? I've got the racks to hold it. I mean, it's hard not to pick up other stuff like this, like the hats and just the tchotchkes and what, when I can find them so cheap. Bibles, mugs, of course, flatware. But man, clothing is so easy to find. It's so cheap to buy. It's easy to list. It's easy to ship. And it sells. It sells better than anything. So, I don't know. I'd like to hear from any of you who sell on eBay, who are like me, who kind of dabble in everything, as well as sell clothes. Do you sell more clothes than anything else? Have you found yourself gravitating toward clothing more? Are you just going to do clothing? Because, I don't know. Clothing seems to be where it's at, which is so strange to me. Because, like, clothes are everywhere. You can go to any store and get new stuff so cheap. So I don't know why people go on eBay and buy used clothes, unless they're looking, obviously, for a particular style. Maybe they're trying to replace something that they had. Or, of course, you know, the brands, and you can get a discount. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a phenomenon to me because I've never in my life bought secondhand clothes. Ever. No one in my family has. And that's not saying we're snobs or anything. It's just we always shop the deals and just got the new clothes. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. That's enough rambling. Time to get these bundled up and off. Should have. But here's what's funny. I think I can't remember how many sales I've had now for Black Friday weekend, Thanksgiving through today. But I think it's the same number of sales I had last year just on Thanksgiving Day. So definitely a slow weekend for sure, but take what I can get. At least with the clothing stuff, the profit margins are so much better than if I was selling a mug or something. So I don't know why. Times, they're always changing. You gotta go with the flow or get left behind. It's a miracle. As I was printing labels down here, another sale came through of something that is not a piece of clothing. Now I just have to find it. Where did I put you? Here it is. This electronic organ kit. I got it at an estate sale. I didn't pay much for it. $1 maybe? I can't remember. But not much. And it just sold for $59.99. It's never been used. Checked to make sure all the pieces were in there. So yay! It's not a piece of clothing. It's a thing. We've sold a thing that is not clothes. I'm kind of a little too excited about that, but I'm glad. And $60, that's an awesome sale. It is now Sunday night, and I just sold this totes, new with tag, nylon puffer vest. I got it at an estate sale during half off day. I paid $4 for it, and then when I got home, there was a price tag on it that I think it just sold new for $24.99. So it's like, oh, I overpaid, because obviously put it on eBay, you're gonna have to go a little less than the new price. And it got put in the 40% off sale, so it's sold for $14.99. Buyer paid shipping on top of that. I brought it up here to my office because it's cold downstairs. Gonna go in one of my giant poly bags. And people have asked me how big these are. So let's measure. Let's see. We got 24 by, roughly 24 by maybe 22 as I throw it on the floor. Almost square, almost 24 by 24. Anyway, they're perfect for these puffy and big coats. They just fit in there perfectly. So not a huge profit, but another big puffy, bulky piece of clothing out of here. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. I finally finished listing the clothing that I had up here. Table is empty. Well, okay. That jacket still needs to be buttoned. We're still struggling, but I got the bulk of it done. Now I still have some down on the rack I need to do, but I have that huge pile here on the table that is done. Now this week I need to get these Christmas villages listed. So that will be this week's project. If I can get the stuff that's in this box listed this week, I will consider that a major accomplishment. But now it is time to go to bed. Tomorrow's a new day. Hopefully there will be sun so I can take photos, because it rained all day today and I need good light by my window here to get the sun in. But yeah, photos and listing this stuff this week. I'm so happy to have all these clothes done. I mean, although there is still a rack down there to do, but still, the bulk of it, most of it is done. It is now Monday morning, and I just sold this jacket. It is a vintage Athletic Works, made in the USA, nylon jacket with the lining in it, the kind of cotton, polyester, whatever lining. I love, love, love finding these. Usually I'm able to find them quite frequently. I picked this one up at Goodwill for under $3, and it sold full price for $39.99. Buyer paid shipping on top of that. And yeah, always be on the lookout for just these plain nylon coats, made in the USA especially, are the best ones to get. And I don't know, people just really, really like them. You can embroider them. Oftentimes I do find them embroidered with like random company names or high schools or something. I usually don't pick up those unless it's a good advertising name piece, but just to find them plain like this, I think they're kind of one of my favorite things to find when I can find them in good shape. So yay, good start to the week. I just got another Amazon FBA payout that I wanted to share with you guys. So for the past 2 weeks, my payout was $227.47, and that is off $427.79 in sales. So see all the fees that come out of that. Mainly CDs is what I have on FBA right now, although I still have books, but I haven't sent a new shipment in weeks. I mean, I think the week I got home from Florida, I sent a box in, and I haven't had anything since then. I just haven't found any bulk buys to do. That's pretty much all I do when it comes to FBA. So my average lately has been around that $200 a 2-week period mark. So around $400 to $500 a month is what I've been, I think, averaging on FBA. But yeah, hopefully I can find some more bulk CD or bulk books to get to send in soon. Even though the fees are changing, I still would like to keep it up if I can find stuff super cheap to send in. So I was going to talk a little bit more about FBA and my sourcing for that, which is that I don't specifically go out to source for FBA. If I go to an estate sale and there's bulk buys for CDs, or I can get a bunch of books super cheap or even free, then I'll do it. But for me personally, for secondhand books in my area, there are 2 Goodwill stores. What is it called? St. Vincent de Paul has 2 stores. The consignment store and the Habitat for Humanity resort and the library. So as far as the St. Vincent de Paul stores go, I will not go to them. They are filthy dirty. They smell like poop. Literally, you walk in the front door and like somebody pooped in the lobby. They're dirty, they're gross. One's in a really bad part of town where there've been a lot of shootings and a couple murders, and it's just, no, it's not worth it. The consignment store where I take things to, they have a lot of books. And occasionally I have in the past looked at them, but there are at least 3 other FBA sellers in my area that I've seen out specifically scanning books. I saw them in a library sale one day. And I also noticed one day I was at a consignment store, one of the couples was there. This is a couple, they're older, and they're deaf. And they've clearly built themselves an FBA business, which I think is awesome. I mean, they're out there. I've seen them at the library. I've seen them at the consignment store. They are scanning. They are, bulk buying. They know what they're doing. They've made it a business, and I think that's great. Clearly, 2 people who are older, have a handicap, maybe makes working for someone difficult, finding a job, and here they've created a business for themselves. So I was at the library, saw them wheel out a whole cart full of books, and I think that's awesome. I'm not a professional book scanner by any means. I have no desire to. I tried that one day. I went to Goodwill for like 3 hours and scanned books. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This just isn't for me. I got maybe 20 books, which leads me to Goodwill, in that my Goodwills sell heavily online. They sell on eBay, they sell on Amazon, they sell at Goodwill.com, and they definitely scan books. I don't know if they had any more, but they used to have an entire one guy, all he did was scan books and sell them on eBay. I would assume maybe they've switched to FBA now for that, but I don't know. But anyway, it's a big part of their business. Now, of course, they don't catch all the books, but considering that they have a whole department dedicated to selling online and that they're definitely scanning, it's kind of like, well, why bother going to Goodwill's and maybe me standing there scanning stuff when they've already kind of been picked over? So I'm like, forget that. Consignment store, like I said, I've seen the other couple there scanning. The library, that's I think where the scanner people go. And then we do have a Salvation Army, but they don't take books anymore, so they don't have books to sell. And then the restore, the Habitat Humanity restore. Now I have gotten books there. I think it's kind of a hidden gem. Nobody knows it's there. But again, they're only open Wednesday through Saturday, and it's just one of those situations where every week I think I should stop in there and see what they have, and then every week stuff comes up and I just never make it. But if I was going to go specifically to source books, that's probably where I would go, to that one location. But otherwise, I just look at FBA as just extra. If I go to an estate sale and they have CDs, or I can do a bulk buy somewhere, get CDs less than 50 cents, that's kind of or 50 cents or less, that's kind of my price point. Books, 25 cents or less. Again, that's my price point. I don't have the scanning machine. I'm just doing it on my phone. And I have never been one to want to be dependent on my phone. I don't go to sales and look everything up. I just try to go on instinct and just learn that way. I think it's kind of better to do trial and error and really learn what's valuable to pick up and what's not, rather than always relying on your phone. I'm also in the middle of Iowa, and the reception here is not always great. There are a lot of small towns I go to where I don't have reception at all. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that about my sourcing for FBA and the lack thereof. Now that we're getting into December, and then January and February, the estate sales will probably likely really slow down. In the past few years, there's usually just a handful during this time. Not only just because it's the holiday time, but it's winter, and when winter in Iowa in January and February especially can be brutal. We have major snowstorms, ice, snow, below 0 temps. It's brutal. So usually people aren't obviously moving or having sales, and it's pretty slim pickings. So I would imagine that for the next 3 months, I mean, I could be surprised. They could have them, but there aren't going to be probably every weekend like I'm used to. But that's okay because I have quite a backlog, and that's why I haven't been too anxious to list some of the odds and ends, because I kind of feel like, well, I know I'm coming up on a time where we're not going to have that much or that many sales for me to go to source, so I can kind of, pace myself during the winter. Hopefully I'll be able to get out for the Goodwill sales that hit once a month and get more clothes. Because I never thought I would say it. I never thought I would become a predominant clothes seller, but I definitely feel like it now. I definitely see it happening. I definitely understand the people who only sell clothes. I can see that that's where the money's at. And once I kind of resigned myself to that and got into a system, I do realize that it is easier. The clothing is easier to list and ship. For me, I just take a garment and you just write the basics of it. The brand, the size, the color, the material, and then I take 3 measurements and that's it. As opposed to a one-of-a-kind or a vintage item where you've got to research the pattern or the maker or the year, and you've got to write all the details about it and do all kinds of complex measurements, and it can be so much more complex versus a stack of coats that once I've got the photos done, I can pretty much zip through pretty quick. So, yep. I'll still pick up the odds and ends because I have to. When you find coffee mugs for $1 and free Bibles, how can you not? But I definitely looking more for the clothes. But anyway, so that is going to wrap it up for the week. I know this was a bit of a shorter video this week, but with no pickups and kind of slow sales, and it wasn't much to share with you guys. But I hope you did like what I did show you. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Check the links below. I will link... every week I've been linking like the clothing racks I use, the shelving I use, the poly bags, a digital scale below, because that's kind of the stuff I always get asked about, like what are the clothing racks you use? Where'd you get those envelopes? I will link them all below. And there's also links to my eBay books. I have nine books about selling on eBay, covering everything from getting started to specifics about shipping, specifics about clothes, all kinds of stuff. And I'll be going through here probably first of the year and doing updates on those books. I go in every year, at least once a year, and update them. So I will be, although I really did a big update last year, so they're up to date, but I always go in and find little things that I can maybe fix. But anyway, enough rambling. I will see you guys next Tuesday for another SeeAnnSELL episode, and on Friday for my week in review vlog for everything else that I do. So till then, thanks for watching. Bye.